Don't you just love when somebody doesn't take care of their equipment but expects it to last forever? So this got dropped off to me. I don't know what looks worth, with more light or without the light, and think I'm some kind of magician. Let's take a look at this hunk of shit and see what's wrong. Now, dirt notwithstanding, let's put this in perspective. It's an 029. So I'm just going to take a wild guess and say this is 20 plus years old. So anything rubber on here is suspect. Seals, fuel lines, gasket. This could be an entire can of worms. And when he opened up the bed of his pickup truck and I looked at it, I should have just said, just stop, leave it right there. You need a new one. But let's see if it's just something small. Who knows? All right, let's dig in. All right, I pulled the spark plug and I'm going to hang it out and say that it's not scored. I'm going to take a peek in here and I can see, you can't see, there's maybe just a little bit of scuffing on this side. Super light. Let's pull the muffler and take a look at that. And then we'll drain the gas if there's any in here and just take a couple of visual cues from the rest of it. This is always a tough shot to get. You end up with too much reflection. And there's some light scratches on here. It doesn't look fantastic. Let's see if I can't get the light to come off of here. No. All right, so use the Shade Tree Mechanic version of, let's see how much compression it's got. And it just kind of drops ever so slowly. I mean, that's not horrible, but I got the compression tester hooked up. See where we're at. 100, yay! So what we have is low compression. And I'm gonna hang it out that the rest of the internals are in rough shape because of quite possibly all the dirt that's been ingested. So what does 100 pounds of compression really mean? And this is cold. So you're gonna get your best reading at room temperature. Typically you want to see like a bare minimum of 115, 120. That's enough for it to pop off and still have enough when everything expands to make the gas go boom. At 100, this will probably pop off if everything, if the carburetor was good and the fuel line and all the other things that we would normally check. But as soon as it warms up a couple of cycles, you're going to drop below 100, and that's just not going to be enough for this saw to run. Yeah, just out of curiosity, let's see what kind of quality fuel is in here. I mean, we're certainly done, but let's take a look at what the rest of this looks like. All right, fuel filter doesn't look too bad. Looks somewhat new. It's pretty white. I don't know if that's a factory filter. Plenty of oil in the gas. Good color there. That is a factory fuel filter. And the fuel line is kind of gummy. And that's to be expected. Something with this kind of age on it. Let's pull this air filter off. Just so we can take a look at what got by. I mean, I can't imagine. Can't even see the nuts. I'm just using where they're supposed to be through all the fuzz. You know, surprisingly, there's not a ton of crap in here. That's a damn good filter right there. That, I think that just fell in, or maybe it didn't. I don't know. That little bit of schmutz around. Oh, that's terrible, man. I don't necessarily see anything in the throat, but then again, most of that's going to be cleaned out just by the velocity of the air. But, you know, I think we would see some crumbs. Boy, I'm glad I don't have to work on this. Okay, so let's wrap this up. For those of you thinking, oh man, all you gotta do is just throw a piston and rings in it, you know, maybe a couple of seals and poof, you'll be out the door just, you know, for a few bucks. I just don't roll like that. Yes, this cylinder could clean up, but there's a myriad of other things due to age. More than likely the carburetor on here, these run a Walbro HD carburetor. Same chassis and body style as like the MS 440, 460, 461s, which are good carburetors. These are a little bit different and they're known to have a bug in them. So I'm going to hang it out just by age and everything else that there's an issue with the carburetor from it sitting or just due to its age. These were not forever carburetors. They are a wear part. You know, fuel lines, impulse lines, you know, you're in for a penny, in for a pound. And again, at the end of the day, this is like that old pickup truck thing. Well, you know, I just put a new transmission in, I'm good now. And next thing you know, the rear end goes out. And the next thing you know, you got a, you know, power steering pump and now your radiator. And that's what these are. This is a good project if you want to do it yourself. You know, but for me to work on this, stand behind it, this is a guaranteed boomerang. And no more that you want to pay me to fix your saw and then in a month or so come back and say, man, it's not running again or something else is wrong with it. You know, you don't want to get into that vicious cycle. It's just a garden tool. Obviously, you're not emotionally attached to it because how you take care of it. So, you know, anyway, I think that pretty much wraps this up. If it wasn't so ugly, this wouldn't be a video, but it does get a little bit of oof thing to it. In his defense, he said when he, you know, built his barn, the cost of the concrete pad was going to be exorbitant and he skipped it. And he said just about everything in his shop looks like this now. That's unfortunate. But anyway, thank you very much and I will see you on the next one.